Hello, everybody, and welcome to the next video lesson in the pre-intermediate course. We're going to look at a very interesting concept called relative clauses. You can see it in point 2, grammar. What is a defining relative clause? We're going to look at that. We're also going to look at vocabulary and speaking, dealing with paraphrasing. Paraphrasing is putting something into your own words. You say it differently, but it means the same as what someone else said. Pronunciation of the silent E. Of course, we don't pronounce the silent E, but it does affect the rest of the word, and we're going to look how it does that. So let's begin with the relative clauses. It's right here. And 3 definitions Victoria heard in the show. Okay, we didn't read about Victoria, so we're just going to do it right now. Complete them with who, which, and were. Let's complete these sentences. It describes a place where there are a lot of people. So where is a relative clause dealing with location. I like cities where you can walk around. Rome is a city you can walk in. There are other cities like this. Berlin's a little bit too big to walk in, except in little areas. London, you can walk in the center, but it's obviously too big. Where describes a place. So it's number 2, it's an adjective or a person who doesn't like studying or working. So who is a relative clause describing people. Where describes a place, who describes a person. And finally, which. It's a thing which you can use in an airport to help you with your cases. So which you can use in the airport to help you. All of this is a relative clause. All of this is a relative clause, and all of this is a relative clause. And with thing, we use which. Now we're going to go down to the grammar, and I'm going to share with you 4 rules you need to know about relative clauses. Defining relative clauses. Defining means it describes the noun or subject. And we can look here. Let's read and repeat after me. That's the woman who won the lottery last year. A chef is a person who cooks food in a restaurant. A clock is something which tells the time. Is that the book which won an important prize? Number 3, a post office is a place where you can buy stamps. Repeat after me. And the final one, that's the restaurant where I had dinner last week. All right, now if you notice with who who describes people. In number 1, we have woman and person, which describes a thing, something, or a book. And finally, where describes where, the post office and the restaurant. Now we have a few more rules, so let's talk about them. I've just described these right here, but after where, excuse me, the verb after where needs a subject. You notice here, you and I here, we have subjects. The others, they don't have subjects because this is the subject. But where describes the place, but we need a subject along with it. And finally, and this is where it gets 2 more points, which also talks about a place. A post office is a place which sells stamps. Do you see that? Which sells stamps. And so which can actually be used for things and places. And one more, that. That can substitute or replace who and which. So that can refer to a person or a thing. So she's the girl who, or she's the girl that works with my brother. Both are fine. Who is a bit more formal. That is a bit more informal, but that is very common. It's a thing which or that connects to computers. So you have there a lot of options. Now you're going to have to remember these rules and complete the assignment. If you have any questions, ask me during the live, because this is a very important aspect of English. We use relative clauses. We use who, which, where, that, especially that. We use these words a lot. So you need to understand what their function is in the sentence. And their function is often to describe the subject of the sentence. All right. Now, if we go back, we have vocabulary and speaking. What do you do? And this is a question you can answer. What do you do if you're talking to someone in English and you don't know a word that you need? It's here, but you can't remember it. We all have these moments where you think, oh, what is that word? So what do? Do you A, look up the translation? Here we go. I'm reading here. Look up the translation on your phone, or B, try to mime the word, act it out. You know, when you call somebody, acting school. Or C, try to explain what you mean using other words. It's when you pick up the phone in a hurry because you're late getting there, something. So describing what you want to say. Now, I'll be honest with you. Letter C is very good. If you can practice doing this, this is going to help you, because you always stay active in the language. So it's a very good opportunity to keep speaking English and work out what the meaning is. So what you're going to do now in the practice sentence exercise, along with the listening file, because we have 317 here, so I won't participate. You're going to then use, here are useful expressions for explaining a word that you don't know. And we often use the relative clause to do it. It's someone who, I'm going here. I just look at who and I say, it's someone who, it's something which, it's somewhere where. We don't say somewhere where, but it's a city where, or whatever. You know that with these words here, you get a clue on what the subject or what the idea is. And it's going to be very interesting to work out these. This is a very important exercise. So try it on your own and then listen and check for the answers. Now, complete the definitions of these words. These are great. This is great practice to do either on your own, aloud in front of a mirror, or with a speaking partner. So if you want to speak with someone and you take turns, you listen and see if the other person said it correctly, then the other person goes and you take turns, one, then the other, one, then the other. And if you have any questions, if you're not sure whether something is correct or not, write it down and you can, of course, ask me. All right. Now, there's a game here that you can play, and I think this would be very interesting to do. And we're going to try it. Just made a note. We're going to try these, and I'd like you to try it. If you can't do it with a partner, we might try it during the live. So be prepared for letter E. All right. Now, pronunciation. At E, at the end of a word is normally not pronounced, but now there is some exceptions. Foreign words like cafe. Cafe is pronounced. There are others where you have soirée, when you have French words that enter into the language, they have an E ending that is sounded, it's pronounced. But in English, normally it's not. And here's the rule. It usually changes the sound of the vowels. So When a word ends in a silent E, the preceding vowel is usually the same as the letter of the alphabet. So sit becomes sight, ite. Fat becomes fate, ate, fate. So you can see here that it sounds like the name, its name. Sit, sight, bit, bite. Very interesting and worth remembering. All right, now let's look at two definitions. What are the words? How does the pronunciation of the first word change when you add an E? So, number one, it's a thing you wear on your head. What do you wear on your head? 3 letters, starts with an H. Hat. Hat, H-A-T. But if you add an E at the end, suddenly hat becomes hate, H-A-T-E. Not a nice word, but something that is part of the human experience. And number 2, hate is strong dislike for something or someone. Number 2, it's a verb which means the opposite of love. And that's right, that's hate. That's with the E, silent E at the end, hate. It's the opposite of love. All right, look at these and discuss how you, or practice how you would pronounce them. And then you're going to write these down. Let's practice these together. The first one, you try, then I go. Ready? Go. Bit, bite. Now this one. Cut, cute. Now this one. Not, note. Now this one. Plan, plane. Very good. Now you're going to listen to the audio files and you're going to then fill in these blanks. There we go. 319 will help you and you are on your way. That's your homework and you've got the answers down below. So I want to wish you well. Study hard. Enjoy the learning process. Don't get frustrated. Practice with a speaking partner and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.